Tonight, from Bills Stadium in Orchard Park, New York, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. We'll see Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills taking on Justin Fields and the Chicago Bears.
Well, they indeed love their football here in upstate New York as you look inside of Bills Stadium in Orchard Park. A few moments ago, to the delight of this Buffalo crowd, it was the Bills racing out of the tunnel as they get set to match up with the Chicago Bears. Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis with you, and now we sit, CD, at week 3 of the preseason, and this is the one that the coaches probably think is pretty valuable, right?
Certainly. This is the dress rehearsal. This is the one where your starters are going to play. You might even game plan a little bit more than you do with a normal preseason game, and then you've got to decide, do you bring them back after halftime and get them going again in the third quarter so they're ready to go when the regular season begins? I'm eager to see how these coaches will handle that.
Fairly short kick from the 14. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. Out comes the offense for the Bills, led by their quarterback at 6'5". That's Josh Allen.
And in this league, there are many quarterbacks who have their most success running the ball, while there are others who have big arms. There aren't too many guys who can do both. And at the end of many games, this guy leads his team not just in passing, but in rushing as well.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Now the first carry for Zach Moss. And right away they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the game's first play. And it's 2nd down now. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
Well, they got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. A big gain there for the Bills.
Brandon, we've both been around the game long enough that we know that in pregame, defenses are pretty amped up, aren't they? I mean, they're pounding lockers, and they can't wait to get out there. But when you hit them with some big pass plays early, it takes the starch right out of them.
So the big play moves them all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down with Moss. Doug Costin on the tackle.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
On 2nd down, it's Moss again. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Draw play as Allen gives it to Moss. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the 1st quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
Here's 2nd and 10. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
He's going to find his tight end, Boyle. And he is going to have a Bills 1st down as they get 5 there on 3rd and 2. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. Allen going to throw. A quick throw going to be caught by Diggs. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Ball at the 6 here as they work with a 2nd and 2. Now Allen going to give it to Moss. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. To the air, Allen. And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Nick Boyle there to make the grab. And the Bills take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the 4th quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. So that one a long 11-play drive. And it culminates in a Bills touchdown. And here comes a return from a few steps into the end zone. And with a marker down, he's up just past the 25-yard line, but I think they're going to be going backwards. Let's check the call. Well, that holding call set him up with not great field position.
Not at all when you tack on the penalty. With that field position after the return wasn't terrific, it's not a great starting field position as well.
On play action, Fields rolling to his right. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down. Here's Fields. He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. We'll see what kind of mindset they have here offensively after giving up the touchdown on the opening drive.
And based on our time with them, prior to this game, I feel like they've got a good mindset going in. In fact, the discussion that we had with the coaching staff was, we may give up some points in this game, so our offense has to be ready each and every time to either equal or try and get us ahead and try and keep us ahead. This is their chance to respond to that first touchdown given up.
Here we go on 4th down. And I don't think he got there. He did not. They stop him a yard shy. So certainly an interesting call there to go for it. And it'll be a turnover on downs. On 1st down, it's Moss. And he's going to be stacked up right at the line of scrimmage. Nothing there for him. 2nd down.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Meanwhile, Allen's throw taken in by Diggs. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. After 7-0 on EA Sports. From down at the 12, it's 1st and 10. They'll run out of the gun with Moss. And here he'll get it down to the 7. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. Throwing now is Allen. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. That catch good for only a yard, and it'll be 3rd down. Now Allen. Flush to his right. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a 4th down.
Well, there was pressure all around him, so the only play was to try and get out of there. I think it was an excellent effort by him just to get back to the line of scrimmage.
The kick by Bass is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So that one on target, and it adds to this first half lead.
And maybe we're too early to worry too much about 1-score lead, 2-score lead, etc. But this is where you kind of start banking those points that come in helpful later on.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Chicago works their way back onto the field here for their 2nd drive of the game. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3, and that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
On 3rd down, Robertson. And he'll be taken down, but he does have 1st down yardage.
Well, partner, none of these runs individually have added up to a whole lot.
Now, 3 plays, all 3 short runs, but together a 1st down.
Yeah, it's amazing how the narrative changes when you string them together.
He's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. The last run got 9. That leaves him with 2nd and a yard. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
And he picks up about 6 as he gets this down to the 41. 6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4. Now Fields. He completes this to Russell Gage. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. To throw is Fields. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
Eluding the pressure right. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in.
Touchdown! It's complete from 4 yards out. And the Bears have cut it to within a score. CD, it seemed like they were so focused on the guys out wide, they forgot about him out of the backfield.
That's a really good point because you've got to communicate, and oftentimes when you start counting receivers, that's exactly what you do. You start from the widest receiver, work your way inside. Who gets lost sometimes? The back in the backfield. That's exactly what happened there.
And he got into the end zone. Extra point up and through, and the lead is down to a field goal. McCann's got it teed up. McKenzie will not return this, and it'll be brought out to the 25. Now the Bills offense gets ready to head back onto the field. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it. Forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. To throw again on 2nd down. Allen will drop this underneath the moss. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39.
That was a pretty favorable situation there. What would you call that? 2nd and manageable? Smart play, too. Didn't force it downfield when he didn't have it. Just checked it down, let him get the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
First down, and they're going to throw with Allen. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating a defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Now the Bills will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And he'll go down. The Bears get there for the sack. Ed Oliver with a big-time sack on 3rd down. It's a loss of 7. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this first half. Punter Sterling Hoffrichter out now on 4th down. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and the Bears take over. The Bears going to get one more possession in this first half. And with great starting field position and a couple of timeouts at their disposal, they'll certainly have the green light here. On 1st down, Fields. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Fields.
It's incomplete. Clock stops with 10 seconds left. These offensive starters still out there in the second quarter. You would think the plans for them to at least play into the third quarter, if not all the way through it.
Yeah, it might go by feel. If they have a really good first drive to start the third quarter, they might pull them after that. If not, might leave them out there a little bit longer, but I'll guarantee this, they'll be gone by the start of the fourth quarter.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Fields. And that ball incomplete, nearly intercepted. Took a chance with that one. It'll lead to a 4th down. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. This is brought in at the 21. So we've reached halftime here in Orchard Park with the Bills taking the lead into the break. As we'll send you down to Orlando, we check in with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Week 3 of the preseason is here. Everyone wrapping up their exhibition schedule. No games for the league on Labor Day weekend. And then it all begins. The 17-game regular season gets underway on the Thursday after Labor Day with the NFL kickoff game. In our game, expect to see the starters for at least one more drive. Something to look forward to as we get you back out to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach. Yeah, adjustments likely going to play a big role in this third quarter in what's been a tight contest so far. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. And the Bears offense set to go to begin the third quarter. And they're still very much in this game, although they do trail. What's the game plan, Charles, for the second half?
It might be a little counterintuitive because most people will think losing equals passing the ball more, but I'd establish the running game. They kind of went away from it in the first half. I think if they get back in balance, it'll help them when they put the ball back in the air.
Come on, dog!
So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
And to give this time to the tailback. And down he'll go at the 25. Coming up on 2nd and 7. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Robertson, and he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. And quickly they get to the line. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. The first half did not go their way, and that's not going to help matters at all. An interception here on the opening drive of the third quarter.
Obviously not what they were striving to accomplish. But you know who's really upset on their team? The defense. Already trailing. They're going to be counted on to try and hold that score at least where it is.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
Outright, this is Boyle, the tight end. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Allen now looks to throw. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line.
Well, partner, we know they came out of the locker room down on the scoreboard. but I will guarantee you the defensive side of the ball got super emotional. They can come out and play with aggressiveness, with fury, because they don't have to be quite as precise, and it paid off for them on that play, didn't it?
Sure did. Excellent play, really setting the tone for this third quarter. So it was a 3-point lead at halftime, and they double that with a field goal here.
And I think defensively, you've got to be okay with that because you've kept this game within a touchdown. Your hope is that you've inspired your offense to put a drive together, get in the end zone themselves, and hopefully get you the lead.
And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. Here comes Justin Fields and the rest of the Bears offense. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
They'll keep it on the ground. It's Robertson. And this will be a Bears first down as he'll take this up to about the 33-yard line. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll power his way forward for about 4 yards there on the first down carry.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Now a handoff looking right. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
For a lot of guys playing this game, there's no better feeling than running right through a tackle. He's able to lower his center of gravity and churn his legs for a really nice pickup.
They'll run on first down. Robertson. And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10. Off play action. Fields sliding out of the pocket. On the run. He'll let this go deep right side. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
Oh, I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there as that's batted down and incomplete.
Has to be a little bit of frustration there. Back-to-back incompletions. Receivers blanketed on both attempts, this time on 3rd down.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. Buffalo offense ready to go for their next drive. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And that's not nearly going to be enough. Stopped at the 22, and he needed plenty more. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Take it at the 37. Dances by him. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. And that'll do it for the end of the 3rd quarter. You're watching preseason football on EA Sports. And now the first throw for the backup quarterback. Open man is Kmet, the tight end. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. They're going to hurry back to the line now. Now Scott on first down. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. That hold coming from the left side of the line.
Hands got caught in the cookie jar on that one, and the flag came out. Penalty against him.
Looking to throw. Scott. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. You know, last week I remember asking you, what would an offensive coordinator be looking for week 2 of the preseason? Now we're in week 3. Defensive coordinator-wise, what's he looking at?
For the most part in preseason, you're playing pretty basic stuff, pretty vanilla defenses. You're looking for guys that play with abandon, that just go out and make plays and kind of let their athletic ability take over in order for you to notice them.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And now they're in the hurry-up. Now a play fake here on first down. He's got his man on the crossing route. And taking it to the 15-yard line before he's brought down. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And the Bears are looking at first and goal as he's tackled all the way down at the 2-yard line. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Touchdown, Bears! A great play there. Ready for the regular season with his second touchdown of the game. And the Bears are an extra point away from taking the lead in this game. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this fourth quarter. McCann's got it teed up. Stevenson elects not to return it. It's a touchback. Buffalo set to get the football back here. And they will be looking to answer the touchdown their defense just surrendered. Still a good chunk of time remaining here in the fourth quarter and a chance to regain the lead in a tight one. On first down, Hampton. And his throw here is incomplete. Hey, a sidebar worth noting is that preseason cuts have changed. So week 3 that we're in right now, the preseason, I think, what'd you say, the roster's going to stay at 90 instead of going down to 75 this year?
That's exactly right, Brandon, because in the past, just what you said, this game here, at the end of week 3, or game 3, you would cut the roster down to 75 and play game 4 just like that. In this case now, though, they're going to be able to keep guys all the way through. So guys who would normally not have a chance to finish out the preseason, they'll get that chance now and get more opportunities to get on tape.
And he's going to come up a bit short. He needed to get to the 35 for the first, but he only makes it to the 34. The Bills send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. Fielded just inside the 20. So a solid punt, but also a nice return there of 14 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. And they're going to speed things up here. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. Behind the chains, 2nd and 13. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down. Back to throw. Scott. And that is incomplete.
Now, he's He's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Yeah, there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line.
You hate to give the ball away here in the fourth quarter while you're just holding a slim lead. But that punt, absolutely ideal. They pin them inside the 5-yard line. They give their defense a really nice opportunity.
Buffalo offense back out ready to go. Their defense accomplished step one of the mission. They forced the punt. Now they'll look to erase that deficit and take a fourth quarter lead. To throw from his end zone. Hampton will throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. 7 yards, the pickup there. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And he's out right at the 25.
And here we are in the fourth quarter, partner, and watch them drive for what would be a go-ahead touchdown. And you and I both know this is where you need a quarterback who can keep his cool back there. Not just for himself, but to keep the rest of the team relaxed too.
And he is going to be taken down. They got him. As that is going to take us to the 2-minute warning. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. They come up on a second down now in a game that looks like it's going to go down the wire. On second down, Conley, and they see right through that defensively as he'll be hit and taken down to the backfield. Back to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And got his man complete. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Great effort there. 83 yards. And the Bills have retaken the lead. So now an important conversion attempt here as the Bills line up to go for 2. And this one's caught. And their fourth quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
He'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38. Now the Bears going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Back to throw. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he is going to score. It's a pick six and a Bills touchdown. Well, that's about as tough as they come. You're driving to try to put the ball in the end zone and tie the game, and that happens.
It's exciting for us, wasn't it? Because we were thinking, hey, we might be headed towards overtime. Instead, it looks like this one may very well be done. And guess what? If you're a fantasy owner and you have that defense, you just had a big, big game, didn't you?
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the pick six, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick six. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told him, and this is caught. And he takes this one into the end zone, and all of a sudden, here in the final minute, things get a little bit tighter.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. The extra point up and good. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. McCann's got it teed up. And he'll conserve whatever time he can as they'll opt to bring it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Buffalo offense now as they get set to take over here. And still 2 timeouts defensively, but even if they choose to use those, 3 kneel downs should be enough to get out of here with a victory.
And that's exactly what's being stated into the head coach's headset. Oftentimes they have a guy upstairs who monitors this at the end of the game. A little clock management 101.
Now the Bears going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play. The Bills on their way to victory now as they take the knee. Now the Bears will use their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 35 seconds left to go. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it. Well, partner, it's just preseason, but it always feels good to be in victory formation, taking the knee for the W.
Yeah, I've often thought to myself when I watch these preseason games, some teams need the wins more than others. You know, if you're established and you're used to winning, not quite the same. But if you're trying to learn how to win, it's important to get it done. And to be able to kneel down at the end, even better.
Going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Buffalo.